On Thursday, January 22nd, attorneys for Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni faced off in a legal showdown tied to the highly anticipated film It Ends With Us. This wasn't about dramatic testimonies or shocking evidence just yet. The real question hanging in the air was far more strategic. Can this high-profile dispute be resolved without going to trial? For fans of the film, followers of celebrity culture, and anyone who loves a good behind-the-scenes Hollywood story, this moment felt like the opening scene of a legal drama. And just like any good story, it raises more questions than it answers. How did it get to this point? What's really at stake? And why does this courtroom debate matter far beyond legal textbooks? Let's unpack it, step by step, because each layer only makes the story more intriguing. Before we talk lawyers and motions, we need to talk about It Ends With Us itself. Because this isn't just another movie, it's a cultural phenomenon in the making. Adapted from Colleen Hoover's wildly popular novel, It Ends With Us carries an emotional weight that fans take very seriously. The story explores love, trauma, and difficult choices, and readers have long been protective of how it would be translated to film. Unlike the explosive trials that dominate headlines, this Manhattan federal court hearing was more subtle, but no less intense. Attorneys for both Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni weren't arguing about guilt or innocence. Instead, they focused on procedure, specifically whether this dispute could be resolved without a full trial. Both sides presented arguments about jurisdiction, legal standing, and whether the issues at hand could be settled through motions, negotiations, or dismissals. To the untrained ear, it might sound dry. But behind every legal phrase was a high-stakes calculation. Who has leverage? Who risks more exposure? And who benefits most from a quiet resolution? The courtroom may not have had dramatic gasps, but the tension was unmistakable. In film projects, control can mean creative direction, decision-making authority, or even how responsibilities are defined behind the scenes. When multiple high-profile figures are involved, lines can blur quickly. The courtroom argument over whether this case can be resolved without trial is really about who gets the final say, and whether that disagreement even belongs in a courtroom at all. But if it doesn't go to trial, what happens next? They bring documents into the public eye. They invite speculation. They turn private disagreements into viral soundbites. For celebrities, that kind of exposure can linger far longer than the verdict itself. Resolving the dispute without a trial could mean a negotiated settlement, a dismissal based on legal grounds, or a behind-the-scenes agreement that never sees daylight. For fans, this can feel frustrating. We want answers. We want clarity. We want to know who was right. But for those involved, avoiding a trial might be the smartest move. It protects reputations, preserves professional relationships, and allows everyone to move forward, especially with a film that still has an audience waiting. Still, the lack of transparency leaves room for curiosity. If everything was straightforward, would they even be in court? And that uncertainty keeps everyone watching closely. Legal disputes don't always derail projects, but they can influence timelines, marketing strategies, and even public perception. Studios are careful. Investors are cautious. And fans? Fans notice everything. Yet sometimes, adversity sharpens a project. It forces clearer boundaries, stronger collaboration, and more intentional decision-making. If this dispute is resolved without a trial, it could signal a reset, a chance to refocus on the story that brought everyone together in the first place. The judge will consider the arguments. Legal motions will be weighed. Whether this dispute ends quietly or escalates into a full trial, one thing is certain. People are paying attention. Do you think this case should be resolved without a trial? Should fans have more transparency when disputes affect projects they love? Or is a quiet resolution the best possible ending? Share your thoughts in the comments, start a conversation, or pass this article along to someone who loves film, law, or a good Hollywood mystery.